Hello and welcome back to another episode of Tiksu to UniTartu. Today I'm joined by Anna. Anna, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello everybody. My name is Anna. I'm originally from Croatia and I've been studying and living here in Estonia for 5 years. I study semiotics at University of Tartu, but right now I'm also working in a school as a teacher. So I teach French and English in Laulasmaa Elementary School. So yeah, I teach kids from 5th to 9th grade and as I said, I'm from Croatia, so I'm here in Estonia studying, living, enjoying life. So that's pretty much it for the introduction for me.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, you just mentioned you're a teacher and you said you speak French. I wanted to ask you first, how many languages you speak and how is the whole teaching process, especially teaching in Estonia for you?
Okay, so I speak English, of course, Croatian, which is my native language, French. I can also speak some Spanish, Estonian as well, because I work in Estonian.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, by this degree, I'm also Croatian and Latin teacher. So by that, you cannot speak Latin, but yes, I also know Latin. So yeah, that's around, I think, 6 languages.
Mm-hmm.
And regarding teaching, it is a very inspirational process, but a very stressful and tiring process in the same time because you have these kids they're already pre-teens and teens. They're having some attitude issues, but in general it's really great to work with them. It's really inspiring. It really challenges me as well. I evolve a lot through that work, and teaching in Estonia is very much, how should I say this, not very much stressful like in my own country.
Mm-hmm.
For example, when I went to through teacher's practice in my own country, everything was just regarding the curriculum, everything has to be strictly done, everything has to be followed by those 45 minutes, everything has to be planned very well. I mean, in Estonia as well, but not in that strict tone. You have more freedom to create your own worksheets, to your own exercises, your own activities you want to do with the children. Because yes, when you're learning a foreign language, the most important thing is to have fun with it as well.
Yeah.
Because when you're speaking it freely, tomorrow nobody's gonna ask you did you stick to those exercises or grammar rules. Just I'm trying to teach them to have fun with the language, to be
definitely
creative with the language. I think that's the most important thing for me. I mean, when I'm teaching English, I'm also we're also watching movies, watching some cartoons where they can hear English, and also with French.
Mm-hmm.
We're watching some films, some short videos where they can actually hear the languages, they can actually experience those languages. And I think that helps them out a lot. I mean, yes, they are in those pre-teen years where you have to fight with them sometimes. But yeah, I understand. I don't take that for something.
Yeah.
I just understand that they're going through, those tough times, the puberty, the changes and everything. So I tend to respect that. But yeah, teaching in Estonia is a really, really rewarding experience. I finally found a job which is perfect for me because this is actually, my degree, something I worked for, something I studied for. Because yes, my first degree is a Croatian and Latin teacher. So I'm really, really grateful and happy to work in the school, because I always wanted to work in the school, actually with kids, to test my own creativity. And yeah, I mean, it's a really rewarding experience. I'm really happy about it.
That's awesome. And that's in Tartu, or are you teaching outside of Tartu?
I'm teaching in Laulasmaa. So
okay.
yes, I've been teaching since September. And before that, for 4 years, I have lived in Tartu. I have studied, I have worked in Tartu. But yeah, one day I was just chilling in my bed and going through CV, and I saw the job position in Laulasmaa school. But first, I wasn't sure where Laulasmaa is actually. So I had to do a research, and then I found out it's in Harjumaa region, so very close to Tallinn, around maybe 20 kilometers from Tallinn.
So up in that northwest region.
Yes, north region of, west region of Harjumaa.
Yeah.
So yeah, I decided to apply since I speak French, since I had some experience with teaching French before, and I have lived in France for 3 months. So yeah, I said, why not? Because they were looking for a similar degree. And yeah, I mean, I also speak English. So they were looking for a French and English teacher, and yeah, I applied. I wrote my motivational letter, and a couple of days later, maybe 2 or 3 days later, they invited me to the interview. So I had to come from Tartu all the way to Laulasmaa, and that was actually quite an adventure because I came from Tartu to Tallinn, and then I sat on the train from Tallinn to Keila. Keila is also a very small town, in which I live today. By the way, I live now in Keila. And yes, for the first time I came to Keila, and I decided, okay, I've seen on the Google Maps that I can actually walk from Keila to Laulasmaa. It's about 3 hours of walk.
That's a pretty big walk.
I love walks. So yes, I actually went. And it was morning, I think, before 8 a.m. and my interview was actually at 10. So it was around, let's say, 7:30, and I decided to go for a walk, but I ended up in the wrong side because I was supposed to go through Kloogarana Road, but I ended up in Lehola Road. So I actually called the Bolt taxi, and then from Keila I came to Laulasmaa, and I had the interview with the principal and the head teacher, and we talked in Estonian actually because for that position you need at least B2 level of Estonian, which I had at that time. And we talked. I explained my experiences. I explained why should I be the ideal candidate for this role. And we talked a bit. And then, I don't know, it lasted around 15 minutes. But I wasn't sure I was getting the job. So I just went to Laulasmaa beach, which is really, really beautiful. And I had a swim there actually. And then I walked from Laulasmaa to Keilajoa, a very beautiful place with a waterfall. I highly recommend everybody to visit it. And I just had a relaxing day after that, enjoying nature. And I came back to Tartu very late. And then a day later, I had to go to work. And then in the middle of my shift, I got an email from Laulasmaa school. So a day after, I got an email that they would want to move forward with me. Yeah. So they just needed some documents like my degree, like my level of Estonian. I was shocked, what the hell? And then I prepared everything. I sent them my documents, and they gave me a job. So all of that happened really fast because one day I'm in Tartu, I'm working, and now I had to move to another city, to another region to start working. It was crazy. I had to do everything all at once. So I packed my bags and then I moved to Keila because Keila is the closest to Laulasmaa by regional buses. And from September, I started working at Laulasmaa school, and it's been a great adventure ever since, and I'm really grateful for it. It was a hell of a journey from that, but
No, definitely. So you mentioned you study semiotics. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's kind of the study of languages and how it's formed, or in some respect, right?
Well, in some sense, yes, but it's mostly related to signs and sign systems and meanings. It's very similar to philosophy. That's why those two are conjoined. There's a department of philosophy and semiotics. Yeah. So they're very much similar. I decided to study semiotics because at my my bachelor's in my home country, I had this one course in semiotics of literature, and I was really, really impressed by it. I even did my bachelor's thesis on it. And my supervisor also inspired me a lot to study, to learn more about semiotics, to figure out stuff more. And then I started to research places where to study semiotics, maybe even for a PhD. And Estonia and Tartu were one of those places, because Tartu is one of the biggest semiotics centers in the world. Yeah. So I decided, I want to go there. I want to apply. And then I contacted first, this coordinator who was for the foreign studies. So I asked her some basic questions. And then I actually contacted my current supervisor now, and she also explained to me the process and everything. So I began with the process, with an English test, with the motivation letter, And yes, when I got accepted, I was really, really excited, but really, really nervous because I was going to another country.
Yeah.
But I had some experience because already I was living in France for 3 months for Erasmus back at my home university. So I had this like foreign country experience already. And yeah, I mean, it was a super nerve-wracking experience. And I remember like when I came, so in Croatia, on the day of my like trip to Estonia, in Croatia, like it was super, super sunny. It was like 40 degrees. People were swimming in the beach. And yes, I was like in my summer clothes. But when I came to Estonia, that was like the first cultural shock because in Estonia, I mean, it was end of August and it was really, really cold, like super cold. Like it was, I think 15 degrees or maybe. And that was in my summer like clothes and everybody was wearing hoodies, like jackets, winter caps, boots. And like I was the only one in the summer clothes. And yes, then I came from Tallinn to Tartu to my dormitory room because yes, the dorm was my first living arrangement. And then yes, my journey of studying semiotics has begun. It was really exciting. I've met all of my great friends. And yeah, I learned so much throughout the study. I've learned so much about biosemiotics, zoosemiotics, sociosemiotics, semiotics of culture, all kinds of semiotics actually, like how semiotics can be applied to literally every field. So that's a valuable experience for me. But what this study has also given me an opportunity to present at so many conferences, because yes, when you're a student of semiotics, there are so many conferences you can present at, like World Congress of Semiotics, Nordic Associations of Semiotic Study, Yuri Lotman Days, so many conferences, which also gave me very valuable experiences.
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful for the study.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you talked about when you first came to Estonia, and I understand you speak fluent Estonian now. I see you've got the Estonian flag on your wrist there. I just wanted to understand like where your passion for learning Estonian, maybe for the culture, came from, and how you've maybe experienced that throughout your time in Estonia.
Of course. So basically, before coming to Estonia, I started reading about Estonia. I started watching videos about Estonia, even videos from students who were already studying in Estonia, because I wanted some experiences, And yeah, like the more I read about Estonia, the more I fell in love with the country. The country was so beautiful, so peaceful, so diverse, so cultural. And I remember like telling everybody about my Estonia, like my upcoming journey to Estonia. My grandma was like, you're going to Russia, you're going to the Soviet Union, because yes, older people still have this perception that Estonia is in Russia, actually.
Absolutely.
But yeah, basically, before coming to Estonia, I also started to learn Estonian a bit, numbers and like some basic stuff. But yeah, I decided to learn Estonian to the fluency because I decided to stay in Estonia, that I want to create my future here, that I want to raise my future children here, that I want to build a life here, that I want to like find a perfect job here and even die here. So yes, and then in the first semester, I actually didn't take the course because I wanted to focus more on my semiotic studies, semiotic courses.
Yeah.
But during that time, I actually learned Estonian by myself. So I started learning, numbers, started learning some basic grammar like minema verb, like olema verb. So basically to be and to go verbs in Estonian. And I already knew the phrases like mul on, sul on, teil on. So yes, we have, they have, like yes, he or you have. And I also knew the construction mulle meeldib, which is I like.
Yeah.
And most of the animals, most of the food. So yes, most of those stuff I already learned by myself. And I actually took Estonian course in the second semester.
Yeah.
And yes, it was the course for beginners. And yes, by the time I took that course, I already knew basically everything. And yes, my teacher said like, okay, I notice you know a lot of Estonian, but yeah, the others don't know so much, so maybe you can like keep it down a bit. But yeah, like then that was like my first course, and now I'm actually taking the final course, which is the course for C1 level in Estonian.
Okay.
So yes, I'm almost done with that course, and then once I pass that course, I will officially have like a C1 level in Estonian, which is something I'm really proud of because I worked so hard for it. Like, but for me, learning Estonian wasn't only about the courses, to be
Yeah,
honest,
definitely.
because I mean, 3 or 4 years ago, I already started speaking Estonian with the people, like at my work, like at stores, everywhere. And then I started like watching movies in Estonian as well, which I highly recommend to everybody. Estonian movies are really
Yeah,
great.
there's some good ones.
And yeah, I started reading books in Estonian. So yeah, mostly poetry books and novels. I mean, by far I have read novels from Juhan Liiv, from Tammsaare, from Juhan Smuul, from Mart Kadastik, and I've read poetry from also Juhan Liiv, Betty Alver, Lydia Koidula, Kristina Ehin, Jaan Kross, from so many Estonian poets. And also I started writing poetry in Estonian. Like for 3 years already I write poetry in Estonian. And I have also presented at Tartu Poetry Slam
wow.
actually in Estonian language just 2 months ago. Like
That's awesome.
I didn't win, but it was still a valuable experience because that was actually my first poetry reciting in Estonian language.
Oh, I mean, to get up on stage and speak in a different language is already
it
like a big
It
step.
was like really, really nerve-wracking for me, but it was a really beautiful experience because I finally like did this in Estonian, and that's something that was really like memorable for me. And yes, I mean, for me, it isn't only about courses, so I highly recommend to everybody who's starting to learn Estonian or who wants to learn Estonian that they should also be brave enough to speak already with the people. People will respect you, but be careful when you speak it with the children because from to this day, when I make mistakes, like in speaking Estonian in front of my students, they laugh immediately. So yes,
Yeah.
they can be cruel, but yeah, they don't have bad intentions. It's just
No,
funny to them.
definitely. Yeah. You had mentioned earlier you took like a 3-hour walk, right, from Kela to Laulasmaa.
Well, last year I took actually an 8-hour walk, so it was 50 kilometers from Taivaskoja to Tartu. So yes, I'm used to those walks.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you a little bit more about like your walks across Estonia, and maybe has speaking the language helped you when you've been out kind of in the sticks, I should say.
Yeah, it's helped me a lot, but like in that experience I didn't meet with much people because
Yeah.
when you walk, like you don't see anybody, you just like walk throughout the forest. I remember like last year when I walked from Taivaskoja to Tartu, so yes, basically first I started walking like through the across to the side of the tracks,
Yeah.
because I saw the train passing by and it honked at me actually. So I took like this giant like stick, and yes, I walked with that stick because like I needed to avoid snakes, so vibrations like scare snakes away. So yeah, I walked like through the thick grass, through the bushes. It was crazy, but yeah. But it was a hell of an experience, to be honest. Like, it was so beautiful. Estonian nature is so beautiful. The forest, the serenity, like, it was such a great experience for me. And I have seen so many places, like from Taivaskoja to Tartu, like Vassekuuste, Vanakuuste, like Rebase, Reola. Those are such beautiful small places as well, which have their own soul, which have their own like charms. And you can't see them actually like when you're just passing by the train or a bus, but you have to experience them throughout the walk, and that's something I'm really grateful for, that I actually experienced that. And I remember when I finally arrived to Tartu with that stick, people from the cars were like looking at me like but yeah, it was like around 10 p.m. when I actually came, because I started like, let's say at 2 p.m. and then I came to Tartu like at 10 p.m. already. It was also in May, so last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a really great experience, because walking through Estonia, you can experience its beautiful forests, its beautiful nature, its spirit, like everything that represents Estonia. And like it's peaceful. There's nobody there like just you, just nature, just sunshine, like the most important thing. And I highly recommend this experience to everybody. It's the best way to explore and to get to know Estonia better.
Yeah, that's like definitely a different experience because I feel like a lot of students come here and maybe they only get to where you can get by bus or maybe even some just by train. Do you have any cities that you'd recommend or places in Estonia that are a little bit off the beaten path that you would recommend somebody visit if they have the opportunity?
Of course. So Võru is a very beautiful city. Like close to Võru is also Setomaa, a very like unique Estonian culture. Põlva as well is very beautiful. Rakvere, the meat capital of Estonia. Põltsamaa, actually the wine capital of Estonia, which also has a beautiful castle and the fort. Let's see, Paide. So in the heart of Estonia, it has a beautiful fort. It has a beautiful church. Haapsalu, Elva. Elva is like my favorite place, and it's so close here.
Yeah.
You can go there by a bus or by train because it's in Tartumaa region. I remember of the first time I went there, like it was already 5 years ago, and it was in November. It was a bit cold, but the day was really beautiful, and like those two lakes are really amazing, astonishing, and like the nature and the forest. I remember like I was on the lake and there was like some calm music coming from the cafe. It was so perfect. So yes, I recommend Elva. Also, Tabivere is very beautiful. It's also like a very small place. So Säädjärve is there in Tabivere. And Keila is also beautiful. Keila-joa, it's a must-see attraction with the waterfall, with the castle. What else? Paldiski is also very beautiful. Like it's also on the shore. It has beautiful cliffs. It has beautiful lighthouses, of course. Saaremaa, like I think that's the destination everybody actually wants to visit.
Yeah.
And let's see what other places. Otepää, like the winter capital, is very beautiful. Türi as the spring capital, like lots of flowers, lots of beautiful park and lake. Narva as well. It's the autumn capital, and it also has. The experience as Narva was also like something unforgettable because, it's on the border with Russia, and yes, you can actually see the fort of Russia, and like you're so close to Russia, but like it's so crazy.
Well,
but
it sounds like you have like a lot of experience all over Estonia. I kind of like transition a little bit into our Estonia Round is what we've been calling it this season. Just more kind of baseline questions about Estonia. I wanted to ask you, like, if you were to leave Estonia today, what would be like the number one thing you would miss?
Well, definitely forests, I would say.
Yeah.
Forests are really, really beautiful. Nature is really beautiful. Bogs as well.
Yeah.
I've been this weekend actually in Pärnu, so I went to Tolkuse bog and I swam there. It was a really beautiful and truly Estonian experience. But yeah, I would definitely miss forests and nature, and also this peace and quiet and this like safety. But thank goodness I'm not leaving, because I promised myself I'm never going to leave. So.
Oh, that's great. If there was one thing that you could like say about Estonia that like this only happens in Estonia, what do you think that would be for you?
That's a hard question, but I would say that you're still wearing your winter jacket even in May or even in April, because because snow could actually fall even in April, even in May. I know people were saying that the snow was falling in June one time. I don't know how many years ago, but yes, I think that's definitely Estonian experience. Also swimming in the bog.
Yeah.
For me, that was a truly Estonian experience, and I'm really happy that I did this just last weekend. But yeah, like truly Estonian experiences. But I also adapted already. I love kama so much. I also always make kama.
That's the national food, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But every Independence Day, Vabariigi aastapäev, so Independence Day is celebrated on 24th of February, for those of you who didn't know or to want to know more. And yes, every year I make my own kilu võileivad. So those are spread sandwiches. Those are like the national dishes of Estonia, and they're always eaten on the Independence Day. And yes, I make my own, and I usually like listen to Eesti muld ja Eesti süda. So that's like Estonian soil or ground or an Estonian heart, a very like patriotic Estonian song. And yes, eestlane olen ja eestlaseks jään. So basically that's like I am Estonian, and Estonian I will stay. Also a very national
Yeah.
song, patriotic song of Estonia, which represents the struggle for freedom. And I also read like poems, of course, from Livia
Yeah, yeah.
Koidula, listen to more Estonian music. Like I just honor Estonia on that day so much. So I honor every holiday. Actually, emakeelepäev, which is Mother Tongue Day, which is celebrated on 14th of March. So the birthday of Christian Jaak Peterson, and he actually inspires me to walk so much because my goal is also to walk from Tartu to Riga and back, just like Christian Jaak Peterson did.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm sure you'll get there if you're doing these 8-hour, these big 8-hour trips. Do you have any recommendations? I know you've given us a lot of recommendations on places to go, ways to learn Estonian, but like maybe some recommendations for somebody that's coming to Estonia for the first time.
Don't be afraid. So yes, it will be scary at the beginning because I remember when I first came, I was really, really terrified. But something actually happened in Tartu, and now I'm going to tell you. So basically, the first day I came, I was super, super scared. I was super nervous. I actually wanted to come back home. But then I started walking around Tartu. And then, I passed by like Kaarsild, which is this like arch bridge, the white bridge which leads to the city hall. And I remember, I think it was 12 o'clock. So the carillon of the bells started to ring.
Yeah.
And the melody was so beautiful, and that in that moment I felt like Tartu itself was like telling me, stay, you will have fun here, you will build your life here. Like Tartu itself was like encouraging me to stay here, to be like part of the city, to be the part of Estonian culture. And ever since that time I wasn't afraid anymore, because every challenge it came, I like took it. I fought against it, and now like 5 years later I'm speaking the language, I'm working my dream job, I'm just enjoying my life, I'm just so grateful and happy. But I actually fought for all of that because I used to work jobs that I hated just to support myself. I used to have not so good flatmates as well, but now thankfully I'm living alone. I have my own place, an amazing apartment. I really fought for everything. So to all of you students who are coming here, don't be afraid. As in Estonian, we have this phrase, pea vastu. So it actually means don't give up, be strong, stay strong, fight with everything. Meet as many people as you can, speak Estonian when you learn it. Like, don't be afraid to speak with people, don't be afraid to make mistakes, because Estonia is here for you. Estonia gives you so many opportunities. Estonia awaits you with open arms, trust me. So this is like my biggest advice. Just don't be afraid, take that important step, and don't give up.
Yeah, that's great advice. Pea vastu, of course. So I wanted to ask, what are your next plans? What's next for you? How are you feeling like, maybe next year, next few years?
Well, my plans are to stay at school, so to work at school, because I have already found my dream job, and also to visit the rest of the places in Estonia I haven't visited before, because yes, I have visited most of them, but there are still so many to visit. And yes, also to adopt a child or two, and yes, to raise them here in Estonia, and just to enjoy life in Estonia. I mean, that's my ultimate plan.
I mean, yeah, shouldn't it all be for everybody?
Yeah, shouldn't it be? Yeah, of course, it should be for everyone. But yes, currently I really want to stay at my job. And until retirement, I want to have children, so I want to adopt, and yes, to raise a family in Estonia. And just, yes, to live happily ever after in Estonia.
Yeah, awesome. Well, that's all the time we have, but thank you so much for coming and sharing your experience. It was really great to hear everything.
Thank you really much for having me. This was a really amazing experience.
Thank you so much. And this has been Tiksu to UniTartu.